Well, I know a lot of you guys are huge Young Justice fans, and with the show's storied history, there's a lot to talk about. And recently, Greg Weisman responded to some tweets where he talked a little bit about Season 2, why it was abbreviated, and ultimately why it was canceled. So let's dive in and talk about that because I don't think it's a story everybody knows. Well, as many of you know, Young Justice is a tale that goes up and down like a roller coaster. We got our first 2 seasons before the show was canceled, only to have it revived on DC Universe, hit the bricks again, and then come back on HBO Max. Now, many of us fans are awaiting Season 5, and we still feel pretty confident we're gonna get it. But many people are pretty unaware of what's happened in the past with the show and what caused it to ultimately be canceled after Season 2. Season 2 is pretty unique because it's also only 20 episodes, and many of us have always wondered about that truncated season and why things went down like that. And now Greg Weisman has pulled back the curtain and given us somewhat of an official answer. Now, the question itself was in relation to the end of Season 4, and what a fan saw as a cliffhanger. Now, Greg doesn't see it as a cliffhanger, it is kind of a gotcha moment at the end, but from that, he derives into what happened the first go-around with Young Justice and why it was canceled. And this is something we've heard many times, but it's super nice to hear it from the horse's mouth. Now, in his response, he said, okay, not a cliffhanger. And 2, the short answer is, the toy line did not do well. Mattel canceled the toy line, which is what paid for the television series. Since we were mid-production on Season 2, when that happened, our episode order was cut from 26 to 20, and we were done. Now, this explains a lot, because personally, I never realized that the Mattel cancellation came mid-production, and that's why Season 2 was abbreviated. As many of you know, if you follow this channel, we've talked a lot about the Captain Marvel family, which included not only Billy Batson, but as we found out this year, also Mary Blomfeld, and recently in the comics, Freddie Freeman. Now, Mary never came to life before Season 4, and we've never seen Freddie anywhere but in one panel of the comics. But it appears during Season 2, in one of those cut storylines, well, those characters were the ones that were ultimately sacrificed and not introduced. Now, as for the toys, this is a tale that's been going on for a long time. In case you didn't know, there's an awesome line of Young Justice action figures that were tied with the first 2 seasons. I have to say, I haven't seen Warner Brothers Animation go full press like this, but when Young Justice came out, they did the show, they did the comic, and they did the toys. They put a lot of effort into this, and unfortunately, those toys didn't sell. Now, you can still pick them up on eBay and various resellers, but they are pretty classic to fans, and honestly, if they were as popular then as they were now, the show probably would have never gotten canned. I always appreciate Greg Weisman's candor in answering these questions. This helps fans really understand what they need to do moving forward. They've always made it pretty clear. There has to be monetization of the show in order for the show to stay afloat. The DC Universe had subscribers, and the hype that went with the new season of Young Justice helped drive the show. HBO has subscribers, and now we have those comics. So, like we've been telling you guys for a long time, check out that Young Justice Targets, buy the old Young Justice comics, and if possible, maybe even find those action figures because they do pay attention to some of these numbers and the general popularity of the show. Also, don't forget to binge watch it on HBO Max. That definitely helps, and it will be what will ultimately get us that 5th season that I feel pretty sure is going to happen. Until we know more, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and stay tuned.